What's up, everyone? It's the interview queen, Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, the True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch for our WWE Clash at the Castle preview. I am here with my usual colleague for these pay-per-view previews on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. He's the face and the ace of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. You see him on Rated Raw Superstars and all of our watch-alongs, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
Hello, everybody. SB3, I know you're hyped. You're going to be there live and in person in Wales. You're right there. Clash the Castle, bro. I'm happy for you.
I have two people that are going to bury me for still being in the UK, so this is very appropriate that you're already getting a nice little pop from our very thank you. We have to appreciate our special guest here. I don't always get to appreciate him because he's usually my antagonist on usual shows that we do, but he came in clutch with the last second three. He is the point god. He is the man that is known for the critically acclaimed, award-winning headlines over on Fightful.com. My co-host from FMC, the mastermind behind Fightful Overbooked, Mr. Jeremy Lambert.
I mean, you were supposed to have somebody who was going to be a Clash at the Castle, but he once again, he's a coward and he backed out of an appearance because that's just what he does. That's his reputation at this point. And so, yes, I come in clutch. Unlike, I'll say it for you, SP3, unlike Chris Paul, I come in clutch and I hit the big shots when you need them. And I'm here. It's a pleasure to join you, gentlemen.
Yes, so glad to have you back on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. It's been too long. I think you were on True Hill Heat like a few months back, but I'm glad to have you on here to talk about Clash at the Castle. Your Twitter feed, your tweets on WWE since the Fed has been back has been very entertaining for me. I always say, like, what's Jeremy gonna say next? I saw you getting all excited from Monday Night Raw yesterday. So overall, what's your feelings going into this Saturday's big historic event in Cardiff, Wales?
I mean, they did the Daniel Cormier John Jones bit last night. That ruled. I always want them to do that bit, and they finally pulled it off. I'm excited. It's going to be a long weekend, but I'm not one to complain about work. It's going to be a long weekend, but I'm very excited. It seems like there's going to be a lot of good wrestling this weekend. Clash at the Castle's got some real juice behind it that I wouldn't have expected a month ago. So the Fed's back, baby.
The Fed is back, and we appreciate everyone who's joining us here for this preview as we break down the card for this Saturday. For anyone who came expecting Alex McCarthy, he will be here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. I already booked him for the review. So I will call Jeremy just in case to fill in for that as well. But he will be there live in Cardiff, Wales for WWE Clash at the Castle. We want to hear from all of you in the live chat. What's your predictions for the big card this Saturday? And of course, remember to drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. Like Jeremy said, it's a busy week. You got Clash at the Castle, you got NXT Worlds Collide, you got AEW All Out. We're going to be previewing all of those shows here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, so hit the bell to stay notified when we go live for all of that. We got Nathan Levy here with us saying, I can't wait for this Sunday. Who's going to win? We got Ace here in the chat saying, what's up, SP3, Romeo, and Jeremy. We got Safit saying, sup, guys. We also got got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson saying, "What's up, my good brothers?" We got Chase Oliver who says, "You think I'm gonna sit here and let you kill me, John Jones?" DC, one of the classic MMA lines ever. And we also got Nick Jackson who says, "First thing I thought of with that Riddle and Rollins thing was John Jones and DC. Hey, pussy, you still there?"
It's my favorite line.
Stuff.
I say that line all the time with my friend Sarah. There's like awkward silence, like, "Hey, pussy, are you still there?" Just we quote that shit all the time. I was so excited when they did that.
Before we get into the action on this card here, I want to ask Romeo, what's your feeling? You're a big supporter of the Triple H era of WWE, so are you excited for this Saturday?
I am excited. I'm excited to hear that UK crowd. As much wrestling as there is going on this weekend, I kind of wish this card had maybe 1 to 2 more matches. Maybe I was hoping they'd add Gargano Theory. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, at least in this moment in time. But I'm a little worried about some of the booking decisions Triple H may make on this card. We'll talk about it.
We shall get into it. And since Jeremy already started talking about it, since you guys in the chat already started talking about it, I think the perfect place to start is with the match that got the best final build-up last night on Monday Night Raw, and that's gonna be not Riddle, but Matt Riddle going one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins. This match was supposed to go down at SummerSlam in July, but Triple H decided to pull it off the card and add a little bit of juice to it, and he definitely did. We had the attack on the Raw before SummerSlam that took Riddle out of action. Then you had the whole brawl at SummerSlam with Rollins standing tall. Riddle was out for a few weeks, then he showed back up. They got into brawls on back-to-back weeks, including last week to kick off Monday Night Raw. Then this past week they brawled in the parking lot before the show was even underway, before fans was even in the building. And then we had a spectacular split screen promo exchange between the two men, with Matt Riddle saying that Seth Rollins, he's going to prove that in his marriage the only man that's in it is Becky Lynch. And then Seth Rollins basically say, "Hey, you still there? Well, let's talk about your family, because you got a divorce and your wife took your kids away because they don't want to see your bitch ass." So and then Riddle said he's gonna fuck him up. So we had that spirited debate during the split screen, and then they had a brawl after Monday Night Raw that a couple of fans got on footage. How much are you looking forward to this match, Jeremy, and who wins this Saturday?
I'm very much looking forward to this match, especially after the segment last night. I thought the build had been fine with everything. They're getting into the fights. Rollins keeps taking him out. Riddle's not cleared, and like it's been fine. It's felt like a build to a wrestling match, and it's been good that they held it off a little bit, because I wasn't like a huge fan of the build leading up to SummerSlam, and like I was cool with them taking it off and giving it more juice. Last night's segment was legitimately one of the best WWE segments I've seen in a long time. Like, again, I've said it on the show already. I've been wanting a company to do the Daniel Cormier, John Jones backstage hot mic segment for the longest time when they do this split screen stuff. And they did it when Jimmy Smith Jr. was like, we've got some unaired footage from Riddle and Rollins. I was telling my fiance, I was like, shh, stop. Like, don't say anything right now, because I knew where they were going with this, and they did it. And I was just dying, and she didn't get it. And I had to like show her the Jones and Cormier segment. Like, here's what they were taking off. She's like, "Oh, this is great." I was like, I was so excited for this. And I even tweeted before the segment, I was like, I just need one split screen segment that just goes, "Hey, pussy, are you still there?" That's all I need in my life. One split screen segment. I understand they can't do it because they're not going to say pussy and get in trouble. But man, this segment was so good. Seth Rollins, the conviction when he's like, "They don't want to see your bitch ass no more." Oh, that man had that one. He was angered. He was angered on that one. That was coming back from the days when his wife, who divorced him, was calling out Becky. So he was holding that one. That was a reserve. It was great. I love the segment. I think Rollins should win because he's kind of like due a win for the work that he's done this year. Like, he went to the no contest against Roman. I guess technically he won that match. And he lost all the matches against Cody. Like, it feels like he's due a win, but Riddle will probably win.
Wow, I thought you were really gonna go with Seth with that one.
No, he should.
What about?
I want him to, but I don't think he actually will. I think they'll give it to Riddle, and I don't know. I'd go with Seth. Seth has been tremendous this year. He's been like probably my favorite performer in WWE this year. Everything he's done has hit, from matches, from promos to segments, from his stupid laugh to the outfits. Like, it's all hit. So I would reward Seth with a win, but they'll probably go with Riddle.
What about you, Romeo?
First of all, welcome back, Matt Riddle. I hope we get Austin Theory. I'm being greedy. I hope we get Pete Dunne. I seen him wearing his old gear. That's a good sign. I don't think we're gonna get Walter. I think we could give up on that. But I'll take three out of four. Ain't bad. In retrospect, postponing this match with Riddle and Rollins seems like a good move, so that Triple H could get his story told and the ball on that. And I think this feud is going to be extending even further. As far as last night, the Riddle sort of had that coming when he brought up Becky. So like, I don't feel too bad for Riddle. Seth Rollins going after him like that. Riddle sort of brought it on to himself. And with everything that happened on Monday, this match on Saturday, like, Riddle can't come out here starting with a collar elbow tie up. This can't be like a wrestling match. He has to beat his ass for what he said about his wife and kids, which is kind of weird because this is a regular wrestling match. So with that being said, I think the finish is going to be not so clear and cut. I could see Riddle's anger getting the best of him, maybe getting disqualified, taking it too far, going over the top. I think no matter what, this is heading to the next pay-per-view, Extreme Rules. And it'll be a specialty match where they could really kick each other's asses. I don't know if it'll be an Extreme Rules match. Maybe Triple H wants to bring back the Lion's Den that he did in NXT for Riddle matches to culminate feuds. So official prediction, I'll say Rollins either wins by DQ or he cheats to win. Maybe Riddle gets the best of him, something like that. It's not going to be a decisive feud ender. Let's put it like that. But it will be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think my daughter is feeling like Matt Riddle right now. But I think that I agree with Romeo that the anger is gonna get to Riddle and Seth Rollins is gonna win this one.
I'm with you guys that it'll probably extend past Clash, and it probably won't be decisive. So maybe by that instance, like, Rollins will win because he'll cheat, and then Riddle can win the ultimate match at Extreme Rules in some type of, maybe it is Fight Pit, maybe it is some other gimmick match that they do. So that's a good point. You know what? I'll lean a little bit more towards Rollins because it won't. You're right in that this probably won't be the end of the match or the end of the feud. And Romeo, you made a great point as well of, like, don't do this, hey, let's have a wrestling match. Like, Riddle should be charging at him, throwing punches, throwing kicks. I always hated that. And
jump him in his entrance. Jump him in his entrance.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
come
that.
out first, jump him.
I love that. Like, I always hate in wrestling when it's like this big blood feud. It's like, start with a clean lockup. Like, no, just punch this dude in the face. He's been talking all this shit. Go hit him. So I hope that's the case as well. I really like jumping him in the entrance. That's good.
I pulled the YouTube chat and they are saying 77% are picking Riddle to win this, 23% Rollins.
Yeah, I think after the promo exchange, you would want the babyface to kind of win, but I kind of agree with Romeo. Like, the Fight Pit at Extreme Rules, that's kind of putting like the stamp of Triple H is running things. He's bringing this kind of NXT only stipulation to the main roster at Extreme Rules. And Extreme Rules, if, depending on how the pay-per-view plays off, they need a kind of like that big match. And if you're building this feud as like the most personal feud, I think that, the Extreme Rules, like a Fight Pit, last man standing match, a Lion's Den type of matchup, you could do so many different things to kind of establish that this is like a more personal feud going into that, where I think that Seth can win this one and then it can build off and you can have Matt Riddle win in the end of the feud at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
But Let's get into the next matchup here. This one was made last night on Monday Night Raw, as it's going to be Edge, who made his return to WWE at SummerSlam, teaming up with Rey Mysterio to verse his former stable, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Romeo, who do you got in this one?
This will be nostalgic to see Edge and Rey Mysterio team up again. Monday night, though, on Raw, you saw that backstage segment with Dominic. He looked like a sad puppy dog. Like, I thought we were about family, you know? And it's funny his name is Dom, because another Dom once said, you don't turn your back on family. But yet, Rey Mysterio's like, this is family. It's Edge. Edge is familiar. I was like, if I was his son, if I was Dominic, I'd be like, what? What are you talking about? He could possibly ruin it for Edge and Rey here on Saturday. We know Rhea's going to be on the outside. I'm sure Dominic's going to be on the outside. This screams like I'm going to say Judgment Day wins and Dominic just does some rookie mistake that costs Edge and Rey the match.
I could say that. What about you, Jeremy?
I think Judgment Day should win. I don't want Dominic to turn because I don't have much use for Dominic. And if you add him to this group, he's going to be there a little bit. Yeah, I don't want Dominic turning. I don't really want Dominic on my television, period. If I'm being honest about this, he's just not that good. I like that Rhea Ripley beats the shit out of him. That's hilarious. And I do like that, like, when he was maybe going to hit Rhea, he had the stick in his hand. He just saw her and just, like, froze. And he was a little love struck. I believe that. You know, you look at Rhea Ripley, and he knows who the boss is in this, and he just gave up his stick. So that was fine. I don't have much use for Dominic on television, though. I think Judgment Day should win. It feels like they need kind of a big win here. Yeah, so I'm going with Judgment Day, but I'm not sure this is like a feud ender either, because it seems like we got to do like an Edge and Balor match one-on-one at some point, and that'll probably be kind of the conclusion to all of this. And honestly, like, give me Rey and Dom against Rhea and Damian Priest, and have Rhea just beat the shit out of Dom some more. Like that's cool with me. But Judgment Day should win. Like, really give them a big sort of established win. I know, like, Finn has beaten Rey, but beating former tag champs, they're all about embracing nostalgia. Beating two legends like this, like, that'd be a big coup for Judgment Day.
Listen,
Yeah.
Dom and Rhea, that's going to be the new Eddie China. Dom is going to turn into Latino Heat. Watch.
Oh no, Romeo.
Just
Rhea China. Okay, I'm okay with that comparison. Dominic Mysterio Eddie is definitely, I don't know if even Rey, like, that man is like charisma void out here. All right, like
they
Eddie's,
once thought that about Eddie Guerrero in WCW.
You could see it a little bit with Eddie in WCW. Dominic ain't got nothing. Like, absolutely.
All Eddie had to do is wet his hair. He wet his hair and he got charisma.
That coffee promo was better than anything Dominic was out there doing. This is more genius of Seth Rollins, because, man, we thought Dominic was something with that Seth Rollins match, and then he ain't done nothing since then. I don't got use for Dominic. He can go off television. He can go train with Lance Storm some more or something. Just get him away from TV.
I think that the whole segment with him and Rhea last night, with him giving up the stick, I think is the prelude, along with what happened backstage, is the prelude to him finally joining the Judgment Day, because he has been beaten into submission, and now he's going to bow down to his dominatrix, who is Rhea Ripley. He's going to join the Judgment Day. He's going to turn his back on his father and the Judgment Day. I feel like they're going to protect the two legends in Edge and Rey here. So I think that's going to be their way to protect them, is having Dominic turn, or he's either going to turn officially, or he's going to cost them the win in some way. I think I think that whole backstage segment, that was what they were teasing, is that Dominic is going to be the factor that makes Edge and Rey lose here. But I think we're all in agreement. Judgment Day kind of has to win, and I think they will win.
I need Rey to, like, be that Hispanic father and get mad at his son for fucking up, and then take it out. I want to see Ray yell at his son. We've never seen that side of Ray. I want to see it. And
I'm
by
here
the way, you
for
guys
it.
in the chat,
I don't think
71% picking Judgment Day.
as they should. Ray can pull it off. I don't think Dom can do anything. That's my issue. I don't think he has any believability if it comes to these segments.
He can be like a simp. He could be a sub to Rhea. Like that'll get him some heel heat.
He's doing that, but I don't. It almost feels like that's what he's that's how he's actually feeling. So maybe in that case, it's working. I don't know if Ray yells at him. I don't know if Dom can actually pull this off. Get Aaliyah. Aaliyah showed more fire in that backstage segment than Dom has shown.
And that's what Ray was talking about. They're gonna get familiar out here. They're gonna get Aaliyah. They're gonna get Buddy Matthews, the son he never had.
He's not really
so
doing
yeah,
anything, so sure.
yeah, he's not doing anything in AEW. He doesn't even have a match at All Out. It could be in Cardiff. That's close to Australia, I guess.
Conflict of interest, though, isn't he, with Rhea?
Oh, this is true. He's gonna be in the middle. There you go. You got the love triangle. They love the love triangle in those Mysterios families. There you go. But speaking of more women involved, we got to talk about the SmackDown Women's Championship. The first title match we're going to discuss here, which is going to be Liv Morgan defending against Shayna Baszler. Baszler won a gauntlet match, number one contenders gauntlet match, last defeating Raquel Rodriguez to earn this opportunity on the August 2nd edition of SmackDown. And since then, Liv Morgan has kind of she stood tall against her during the contract signing, but in the week since then, Shayna Baszler has kind of expressed her dominance on Liv Morgan and says that she's going to break her arm in Cardiff and win the SmackDown Women's Championship. So does Triple H put the title on the woman that he loved the most during the home stretch of his run in NXT Black and Gold era, the two-time NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler, or is Triple H going to make good on the underdog babyface champion that he was gifted from his father, Vince McMahon? This has been kind of the one hurdle of this, or one of the hurdles of this new regime, is the booking of Liv Morgan not being that good at all since SummerSlam when she tapped out to Ronda Rousey, and then since then she's been booed. She stood tall when she wasn't supposed to. She's still the underdog babyface, but she hasn't been that effective in the role. Does Triple H make good, or is he going to put the title on Shayna, Jeremy?
I would put the title on Shayna, and I like Liv. Her getting the title, cool. They botched SummerSlam, and I don't know if it's worth trying to recover, because I don't think the crowd's behind Ronda right now. And so that's an issue. If the crowd was against Ronda, you could pull this off, but the crowd's behind her. And so it's going to be tough to continue to pull off underdog Liv against big bad Ronda when the crowd's booing Liv and cheering Ronda. She's not much of an underdog if she's getting booed. So I would just go ahead, reverse course, change course, whatever. Because you don't want, Ronda beats the shit out of Liv, takes the title, big cheers after you've been trying to present Liv as fighting uphill against Ronda and Shayna Baszler. Go ahead, put the title on Shayna, rebuild Liv however you're going to rebuild her, and build towards the Shayna Ronda match. That could be something. I mean, there's obviously the big history there. Triple H loves Shayna. Seems to like Ronda. I mean, he had Ronda's first match. And Ronda's in the position she's in, so she's going to be used. That's where I would go. If the plan was to try to continue with Liv, I think after they botched it with SummerSlam, they should just go ahead and change directions here and go with Shayna.
That's what a lot of people are feeling like that we see here in the chat. We got Chase Oliver saying Papa H going to keep up with this bad booking by making Liv win by another lame way and thus forcing her to be heel, and making this a genius turn should just go to Shayna. What do you think, Romeo?
Yeah, what Chase just said there, that's kind of why I'm a little worried about this Triple H booking. That's part one. What he does with Liv Morgan. That Liv Morgan stock is down. Sell. But I'm gonna go upset alert here. I'm gonna say Trips is gonna surprise us. Please, Trips, please. I'm sorry for all you Liv Morgan fans out there. She is in shark-infested waters right now. If it's not Shayna Baszler, it's going to be Ronda Rousey. And there's also that queen out there who still has yet to return. So watch out for all that. Either way, it's coming to an end very, very soon here. And you know what? Do it right here. I'd love to see Shayna win. I'd love it to be in like a minute. Just choke her ass out in like a minute. And let's go with Shayna Baszler. And let's go to Shayna, Ronda, and Liv Morgan. Thank you for your short title run. But we're good. We're good now. We're good going forward.
I'm sorry. I think he's going to find another lame way to put over Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is gonna do the regular thing that happens to Shayna Baszler always. She puts on the Kura to Kush, and they pull the Bret Hart against Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8, run up the turnbuckle, flip pin, 1, 2, 3. That's how, and she's going to tap out at the same time and beat Shayna Baszler. That's how he's been booking Liv Morgan, and I think that Liv Morgan is going to retain because I think they are going to do Ronda versus Liv again, and Ronda's going to probably be the one to take the title off of her.
I think Ronda probably takes the title eventually as well, and her beating Liv to bring that story full circle like makes sense. But man, I don't know how you can go with Liv right now. Like, it's got to be clean. It's got to be decisive, but she's probably going to spend the majority of the match getting her ass kicked. And maybe the Cardiff crowd is just going to be behind Liv, and that'll be enough. Like, maybe they're buying into this whole thing. Because obviously
I think it's going to be the opposite.
Oh, you think so? I mean, it very well could be. I don't know how UK people are weird. I mean, SB3, you're UK now. Like, how do you guys like react to this kind of stuff? Is it Bizarro World? Over there.
I mean, I heard the last time they were in the UK, Roman was like cheered more than Drew. So yeah, we'll get into that match, but yeah, I can definitely see what Jeremy's saying, and I can see them kind of cheering on Shayna Baszler in this one, or they can like go behind the underdog babyface that needs some love at this point and feel bad for Liv Morgan and be like, oh, we'll adopt Liv, we'll get her some fish and chips, and we'll adopt her here in the UK, and we'll root her on to victory. But no, I definitely do see them kind of probably being 50-50 split for this matchup here. But I just saying, I don't think that the rehabilitation for Shayna Baszler is over, and I don't think it's over with the crowd enough for her to win here.
I think Triple H is a coward if he doesn't put the title on Shayna Baszler.
Damn, a lot of you called. That's the second person you called a coward on this stream. Cowards at the castle.
Cowards at the castle. We got a new name, y'all. Sean Gardner says beat Shayna clean. Nick Jackson doesn't like what I'm saying, so Hidden God said please no. I mean, it is what it is. Triple H does not like Liv Morgan. I'm convinced. I've been convinced of this by the booking over the last month or so. We got Piggy Carp 1423 over on Twitch saying what's up, True Hill Heat fam, taking a little break from work with THH baby. Thank you for joining us over on the Twitch machine. And yes, we should just rename this whole stream Cowards at the Castle. Thank you, Jeremy. You coined a new phrase, a new pay-per-view.
Oh, that's Romeo. Romeo's got the Cowards at the Castle.
Well, I couldn't have done it without your help, without you calling people cowards.
Exactly.
No, dishing out the assist.
Point
let
God
me tell you,
on.
Let me tell you what the chat is saying with the poll. 67% Liv Morgan, 33% are seeing an upset. Everybody, if you're watching, vote in these polls. I'm gonna do them before every match we're talking about.
Yes, and next we're going to talk about another title match, probably the match I'm looking forward to the most on this entire card for the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be Gunther defending against Sheamus. Sheamus won a fatal 5-way matchup over on SmackDown to earn this opportunity. They had a fantastic promo exchange on last week's edition of SmackDown where Gunther said that he's going to chop the taste out of Sheamus's mouth. Sheamus says that he's produced banger after banger. He's beat Triple H, John Cena. He's beaten them all, and he's going to beat Gunther and complete the Grand Slam. This is the one title that has eluded Sheamus to completing the Grand Slam in WWE. So does Sheamus do it in the UK, get the big win to complete the Grand Slam, or does Gunther's reign continue, Romeo?
I can't wait. I can't wait. This big old Haas fight is going to be tremendous. They might even get a "This is awesome" chant before they even touch. I think the crowd is going to be that into this. Keep Walter's run. Excuse me, Gunther. Keep his run going. IC champ. I know Sheamus has that Grand Slam, but I don't care about that right now. I care about Gunther looking strong. So Walter for the win.
Jeremy?
I think this is going to be match of the night. Like, I think they're going to get time. They're going to beat the hell out of each other. As Sheamus says, banger after banger after banger after banger. He's had some great, great matches too. Like, he's been very underrated really since the pandemic era, like in front of the screens and everything, the Thunderdome era. Like, he was putting on some really good matches. And he's been great now that the fans are back for the past year. And I mean, Gunther's Gunther. The pale skin on Sheamus too, when he gets chopped, it's going to show up like so much. Oh man. I think Sheamus gets his moment here and wins the Intercontinental title. I do think that happens. I'm not mad if Gunther retains and they hold off on Sheamus winning the title. I think Sheamus at some point during this little run gets it. By the end of the year, he gets it. Maybe they hold it until Mania so we can get a big Mania moment. But I definitely think by WrestleMania, if it's not at WrestleMania, he'll get the Intercontinental title to complete the big whatever they call it, the Grand Slam to complete all of that. He'll get the title. I'm looking forward to this match. Like, this legitimately is the most anticipated match for me. It's not like the best built, because I think Roman and Drew and Riddle and Rollins have been better built, but just Sheamus's presence alone, the way Gunther has been presented, and just the moment of being in this stadium, Sheamus going after this title, and just my expectations. I'm pumped for this one, man.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I would arguably say this is the match I'm looking forward to more than anything this entire weekend, because I don't know what's going to be the trios finals on All Out yet. I think that match might be just as good as this match.
You know.
No, but I'm hoping it's my booking of Hangman with the Dark Order. That's
right,
what
I
I'm
think
hoping.
It will be. I think it will.
I'm hoping we get that. If we get that,
Yeah,
then I'm looking forward to that match just as much as this one. But for right now, from what we know, I'm looking forward to this match more than any match this weekend. It's going to be an absolute banger. I expect for Sheamus to be the baby face here. I think he's going to get a lot of cheers from this Cardiff crowd, and they're going to be, rallying behind him. And I know there's an argument a lot of people have been making for Sheamus to get this big win here, but I'm sorry. You can't end this Gunther reign. This Gunther reign already feels like the most important Intercontinental title reign since Miz kind of made the Intercontinental title in like 2016, 2017. It's been that good. I think we've had other good reigns since then, like Sami Zayn as Intercontinental champion was pretty good and stuff, but this feels just as good as what Miz did, and he's only had it for about 2 months. So I'm ready to see it go longer, him to have a dominant reign like he's been known for on the independent scene, like he was known for NXT UK, the longest NXT UK champion. So I want Gunther to continue the reign here and have an absolute banger, and that's what he can deliver. 100% agree with Jeremy. Sheamus has honestly been the MVP over on SmackDown. I would say in my top 5 best matches I've seen on SmackDown this year was Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre in the Irish Donnybrook match, and the Fatal 5-Way that he won this shot a couple of weeks ago. Both of those were absolute great TV matches, and I think this match is going to be one of the WWE match of the year when we get down to December.
Well, that's going to be interesting seeing Sheamus in that babyface role, because you don't see that too often. You haven't seen that in a very, very long time if you have.
He honestly needs to be a babyface. Just don't make him the Irish John Cena like you did in 2012. Just make he's a legitimately naturally funny guy. Just let him be funny and cut promos like he did on SmackDown last week, and he can be an over babyface even here in the US.
You think we're going to get a lot of outside interference with this?
Yeah, definitely Butch and Ridge and Ludwig is gonna get involved on the outside. I've been hearing they're on this Friday. You got Butch versus Ludwig. Hearing good stuff about that match. That should be really good on Friday. And I think on the outside, those guys are gonna get involved to kind of keep everybody as a heel. You got to have that interaction on the floor.
I think they'll be
70
involved. I think they'll
Jeremy.
be involved on the outside. I don't think it's gonna like spill into the ring, or these two are gonna like have to hit Butch or hit Ludwig. I think they might just fight amongst themselves on the outside. And I wouldn't just let these two men punch each other really hard. We don't need any shenanigans with Butch and guys on the apron and them getting hit. Just let them hit each other really hard. That's all I want.
72% of you picking Gunther. Well, 74 now. 26% Sheamus.
See, the last minute Irish fans came in and just was like, no. And no, Andrew, no. Double count out schmaz was. No, I wouldn't want a double count out in this one. This one needs a winner to be that match of the year candidate that we all expect it to be. So, yeah, 100%. This is the match I'm looking forward to from Clash. But another match I'm looking forward to, maybe slightly less than I was 24 hours ago after watching the main event of Monday Night Raw, but it will be the group that has been officially known as Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky versus the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. It was at SummerSlam. Bayley made her return aligned with NXT alum Dakota Kai and Io Sky, and they confronted Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. The following night on Raw, they took out Becky Lynch after she injured her I think it was bicep, shoulder, something. She earned the injury in her match against Bianca Belair at SummerSlam, and then Damage Control re-aggravated the injury. They then attacked Alexa Bliss and Asuka during their one-on-one contest. It was in the WWE Women's Tag Team Tournament. Sky and Kai defeated Alexa Bliss and Asuka, and then last night on Monday Night Raw, it was Bliss, Asuka, and Belair who took out Bayley when she tried to interfere in the finals of the tournament, and that allowed Aaliyah to get the pinfall on the illegal woman in Dakota Kai to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships for herself and Raquel Rodriguez. First, what did you think about the finish from last night's main event of Monday Night Raw, and who do you think wins this 6-woman tag, Jeremy?
I thought the finish was something. I'm not sure what they're doing with Raquel and Aaliyah. It seemed like a weird spot for them to win the titles. I understand they want to try to make it a big deal. Maybe I should just be kinder of like, hey, Triple H clearly loves Raquel. She was pushed very strong during his NXT when he was overseeing all of that. Aaliyah, I don't know. The only thing I could ever think about her is I'm Aaliyah. You shouldn't rub me the wrong way. Well, why shouldn't we rub you the wrong way? Because I'm Aaliyah. That's the only thing I'll ever think about her. And that's from Breaking Ground in 2015. And that's all I can ever think. It was weird. I'll let it play out and see kind of what happens. Putting the pinfall on Io or Dakota when they're about to have this big match. Strange decision. I imagine Dakota and Io will get a rematch because Dakota wasn't legal. But then do you beat them again, or do they win the titles? Like if you're going to put the titles on them, why not just put the titles on them? It's strange, very strange. As far as this match goes, I think Damage Control wins. I think they kind of need to win after losing on Monday. I would have had them win on Monday, and then I would have had them win here too, and then Bayley wanted to go after the women's title and just have them kind of run shit because that's where they should be positioned. But Aaliyah, she's Aaliyah. Gotta make sure she's holding a title.
Gotta make sure Aaliyah, who barely got a reaction from our hometown crowd of Toronto last week, gotta make sure she goes over, picks up the big pinfall win, the roll-up win against the illegal woman to win the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. It seems like Triple H is creating a lot of his obstacles in the women's division. He's a much better booker of the women's division than the other side, what Tony's doing with the women, but he is creating a lot of his own problems, it seems. Like I was baffled by the decision to put the titles on Aaliyah and Raquel. He apparently wants to build Raquel as a big star, but I think there's other ways to do that, but here we are. I do agree with Jeremy, though. Damage Control wins here. They kind of have to win after last night. But Romeo, what did you think, and who do you think wins?
Yeah, that finish stunk. The Raw women are tag champs. Now, had that been Toxic Attraction in place of Raquel and Aaliyah, no problem. I think that would have been fine. I would have been okay with it. Because I think they're much more deserving than a makeshift tag team of Raquel and Aaliyah. But whatever. I would think Damage Control has to win this. They should win this. I think it will be fun. All six of these women in the ring at the same time. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna even give you who pins who. I'm gonna say Io pins Asuka.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I love their interactions during that tag team matchup. I want to see Io versus Asuka 1-on-1, honestly, at this point.
Go to a live event, SP3. Go to a live event. They're wrestling on the live events. You have to come back to America for these live events.
I'm good. The live events are better here in the UK, so I'll stay here if I'm going to a WWE house show. We got Chase Oliver. He says, talk about Damage Control. Triple H going to be doing that with Damage Control winning here. They should look unstoppable force, not losing to Aaliyah and Raquel. One idea that I do think made sense is that, you know, with Aaliyah and Raquel winning here, having that celebration with Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair, maybe Sasha and Naomi come back as heels and they join Damage Control, and then you have your 5-on-5 War Games or Survivor Series matchup in November.
You cannot bring these two women back as heels. You just cannot do it. They're gonna get such a big reaction when they return. They were baby faces when they left. But it's like, why are they heels? Because the company buried them for you let the WWE universe down. The majority of fans saw through that and thought that was bullshit. So you can't, that'd be like Vince bringing Becky back as a heel. And bless Becky, she made it work. And Sasha and Naomi are good enough to make it work. It's just putting yourself in a corner when you don't have to. And speaking of, can you pull up the comments? Andrew the Giant's comment, like putting up. I think they did multiple women's story. Oh, sorry. The one above that, they wanted to avoid the discourse of all the belts not being on the line. Thank you. So this is like booking yourself into a corner here of like, okay, if they didn't want to. If they want to avoid that discourse, and that's why they put the titles on Aaliyah and Raquel, first off, who cares what the discourse is? Just do your match. You already had the match announced. It's not like it's like, oh, well, now let's put all the titles on the line. Second, if you wanted to avoid that, they didn't have to crown new women's champions last night. They could have held off on that until after this pay-per-view and done it the following Monday. And then they could have had Io and Bayley won. It's very strange. It was a strange decision. That's all I'll say. It's a strange decision. We'll see how it plays out. If they bring back Sasha and Naomi as heels, they're idiots.
Yeah, like I think people get confused with, you know, wanting a reason for this decision to put the title on there. And I think that a lot of people, you know, think Triple H farts roses at this point and they want to come up with a logical reason. That's not a logical reason to avoid the discourse of all the titles being on the line. That's just a bad reason to not put the titles on them. And then to be here, he says they swerve us because everybody knew that Io and Dakota was going to win. They want a surprise. That's what Vince McMahon would do. That, like, I watched SmackDown this past week and I was like, did Triple H like give the pen to Vince because it was Vince's birthday? Because that was the blandest episode Triple H has produced since he's been in control. And then I watched the main event of Raw last night and I was like, oh, he definitely gave the pen to Vince this week. He was like, Vince, it's your birthday. Here, you could book the finish for the main event of Raw. You could book SmackDown. He was like, have at it, Pops. That's not a good reason just to swerve everybody, because that's the same same reason that Matt Hardy decided to kill Jeff Hardy's dog back in 2009, because I'm gonna swerve everybody. Everybody thinks it's gonna be Christian, but no, Matt killed his own brother's dog. No, it's not a good reason. It's just a reason.
Yeah,
but
bad booking, Triple H. Call it out.
When Romeo can admit it, you know it's right. When Romeo, the biggest Triple H defender here, is saying that, you know it's right. Sean Gardner asking, when
Romeo's
do
taking
Sasha
his gift
Naomi...
basket back from Triple H. He's taking the gift
his cheese patter, cheese and crackers. Sean Gardner asking, when Sasha and Naomi come back. I think next Raw, next Monday. What about you, Jeremy?
When do they come back? I think if they're going to come back, last night would have been the time. But at the same time, I understand why they didn't come back last night when you have a big pay-per-view on Saturday and they're probably not going to be part of that. So it feels like Monday would be the best time. And that's why I think maybe you should just held off your tag team title thing until Monday, if that's when you were planning on bringing them back. Because now, Aaliyah and Raquel are just going to come out, do their big championship celebration. Here comes Sasha and Naomi. They're going to get cheered. Aaliyah and Raquel are the baby faces. We're going to get booed now. They're going to hold the titles for 1 week and immediately lose them. We'll see what happens, but it seems like they just booked themselves into an unnecessary corner with that victory last night. It really does. Maybe they have a grander scheme. I don't know.
I think there is, and I'm going to tell you what it is right now. Because I saw Dakota Kai mouth to Io, I wasn't legal. They're gonna make that storyline, and they're gonna build a rematch, and that rematch is gonna be on the first Raw against Monday Night Football, which is not this upcoming Monday, the next Monday. I think they're gonna stack that Raw, and that's gonna be one of the title matches we see, and I think Damage Control wins that, and then Sasha and Naomi stare off with them after with their tag titles. And
I'm not mad at this, Romeo. I'm not mad at this at all. Like, that makes sense to me. And if that's the way they go, could they have done it differently? Sure, but I'm not mad at if that's the way they go. I don't think that does much for the tag team titles. Like, why are you going to have champions that just hold it for a week? Like, let me
tell you, it wouldn't be the shortest title reign Raquel had.
It wouldn't. That's the thing. It really
2 hours.
Yeah,
less than 2 hours.
Yes, it wouldn't. Like, to me, that's my only gripe with that is like, why are you gonna do this whole tournament? And it's like, yeah, here's your 2-week reign. Like that doesn't make much sense to me. But otherwise, like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
I actually don't mind that, actually, especially if they also do Bianca versus Bailey on that show, and Damage Control can win all the titles in one night. That's a little bit of a draw for that show. But let's talk about the main draw.
Let me tell you the poll
this
results real
show.
quick.
Yeah,
68% Damage Control.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that. But let's talk about the main event of Cardiff, of Clash at the Castle. It's gonna be the UK boy Drew McIntyre going up against the 2-year reign of the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. This kind of feud, probably you could say it started at Survivor Series 2020 when these two men went up against each other, when Drew was WWE champion, Roman was Universal champion. Roman telling Drew before that match that he's a solid number 2 to his number 1. Drew also was against Roman and the Usos back at WrestleMania Backlash with rated RK Bro, excuse me. And then Drew beat Sheamus in the Irish Donnybrook matchup to earn this opportunity. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing about the journey for Drew McIntyre for this show that he really pushed forward to happen here. So does Drew get the triumphant win in Cardiff in front of the UK fans, or does Roman continue this massive historic run? Jeremy?
And they've done such a good job of building Drew, like such a good job at doing it. And I know Drew, like he's earned it. His first title win was in front of nobody. His second title win was in front of screens. And now, like, to get this big moment, in a stadium that like he's pushed for, that he's done so much to promote, that is almost for him. Like, it seems too good to be true, and it's probably too good to be true, because I'm keeping the belt on Roman. I'm having Roman ruin this big moment for Drew. And yeah, people are saying Cross is going to cost McIntyre. I wouldn't do that. I would not have like any type of excuse. I would have just Roman beat him. I don't need TikTok playing across the arena or anything like that. I assume the Usos will interfere in some regard. Don't overthink this too much, though. Like, it's a big main event. You've built it up very strongly. Don't give yourself an out. Just keep Roman as strong as you've continued to keep him, and just, he's better than Drew. It is what it is. Like, sometimes someone else is just better than you. We can go back to John Jones and Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier is a great fighter, 2-division champion, like one of the best of all time. John Jones was better than him. It's that simple. And that's the story with Roman and Drew. Roman is just better. And I would have Roman win. I don't need a bunch of interference. Usos will probably be there. They should get their asses kicked, even as tag team champions, which I don't like. But Roman should win. I'm going with Roman. They've done a great job selling a lot of people, including myself, on Drew. And this is the first time I've really felt like Roman could lose this. Like, Roman could actually, like, it would make sense if Roman loses in this spot. This is the first time I felt this during his run, because every other time it's just been like, yeah, cool, I like Daniel Bryan. I like Cesaro. Brock Lesnar has done great work. Kevin Owens was doing great work. Roman ain't really in trouble in these. Like, they ain't taking the title off Roman here. John Cena, same thing. Like, this is the first time I felt like they could do it. They could actually do it here.
I do agree with you 100%. They've done a great job of building this up and building doubt for the first time in Roman's 2-year run that he may lose the title. Romeo, who do you got?
Yeah, there's definitely doubt there. I can see Triple H wanting to make his splash here, have this be talked about all over social media and everything. You know, new champ. But you know how I feel, SB3, about this Roman Reigns run. I don't want it to end unless it's one person ending it, and that's Cody freaking Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. It has to be him. Yeah, Drew McIntyre has been built back up. Yeah, it would kind of be like, I don't know how to phrase it, but like, remember him not having his moment when he won during the pandemic. This would like all but make up for it, having his moment in the UK. You know, it would make for a nice story. But I think Drew's gonna win. But he is not my official pick. I will not be that guy that picked against Roman Reigns. I will not. I'd rather lose picking Roman than lose not picking him, you know? So I'm going to Roman Reigns, please. I'm rooting for Roman. I like Drew, but I don't want to see, you know, yeah, we'll get the big pop, but then what? Then he's a champion on SmackDown, and okay. Karrion Kross. Okay. What? Corbin? I don't know. No, don't do that again. What's next? Because there's not going to be a draft, so you're stuck with this SmackDown roster again. Still, I'm not excited
because he'd be the undisputed champion, so he can go to Monday Night Raw and he can have his match with Kevin Owens. He can face Seth Rollins. It's been a while since he faced Seth Rollins in a matchup. Raw has all the talent now. Raw has all the top guys. It seems. I think that Karrion Kross might be something for Extreme Rules, but I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on Karrion Kross too soon. I was at 10% chance for Drew McIntyre for much of this build. It wasn't until this past week's SmackDown when they had the vignettes showing about the journey home for Drew McIntyre, those acclaimed produced WWE videos. They were at it again, and they pushed me all the way to a 40% chance for Drew McIntyre. Then the good and reliable Russell Votes put out the tweet saying that they're thinking about it. They're having talks for the first time in a while of Roman Reigns dropping the titles or title at Clash at the Castle, and it's been convincing to the people that make the final call this Saturday. So I'm gonna go out on a limb. It's only Tuesday, so I do have time to change my pick. But right now, Tuesday, August 30th, 2022, I'm saying Drew McIntyre beats Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I don't think they're going to have both UK boys in Sheamus and Drew lose in Cardiff. So I think they're going to save the big moment for Drew. And like Romeo said, I think that this is a big stamp. Romeo or Jeremy said it. This is a big stamp for Triple H to kind of put his mark on this regime. You need the big change. Roman Reigns is defined as a Vince McMahon guy. Despite his relationship with Triple H, he will always be viewed as a Vince McMahon guy. Triple H, the guy that brought Drew McIntyre talked about it. He was like, I didn't call them. They called me. The person on the other side of the phone was Triple H. Triple H is making the call this Saturday to put the titles on Drew.
Will there be a cash-in or a threat of a cash-in?
I think that's how he wins. Austin Theory cashes in, and Drew Claymore's Austin Theory and wins the undisputed. Because WWE, they wanna wash both hands. They want their cake.
They want it both ways. They want to
have
their cake and eat
it too. They want it both ways. They want Drew to have the big moment, but they want to protect Roman Reigns. Everybody's saying interference from Karrion Kross, all that other stuff, interference from the Usos. I think the way they protect Roman Reigns is by having Austin Theory cash in, get hit with the Claymore, 1, 2, 3. Yes, for Austin Theory, Drew McIntyre wins the undisputed Universal Championship.
Okay, I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Yes, and she just told me on the she told me on the side here, my inside source, the inside source that I sleep next to. She's the one that said that first told me she believes Drew is winning the gold. So I also got
when she said that, did she say it with a wink? Did she say Drew's winning? Drew's winning the gold. Listen, I love that idea. I want to protect Roman too. If it goes down that way, where Roman can go ahead and be part-time, but he never really lost, I'll be fine with it. And then put the title back on him later, and Cody still better beat him. Cody better be the one that beats Roman. I want my cake, and I want to eat it too. We all should have our cake and eat it too.
Everybody gets cake. Everybody gets the
Jeremy, you think there'll be a cash-in or threat?
I don't think they will. I don't even know if Theory's traveling to this. He's not booked. So I mean, maybe he's traveling just because he's the Money in the Bank holder, and so they got to present that he will be there, and there will.
What if there's an opportunity there, and you didn't make the trip?
Well,
you got to always make the trip as Money in the Bank.
I mean, I agree with you, but I don't know if he actually is traveling there. And they ain't wasting that flight seat on someone they ain't got no plans to use. Do something else with that seat. I don't think there will be a threat. Theory hasn't really threatened it too much. Like, he's tied up with Gargano right now, and maybe that means like it makes it more likely because they're not just so like boisterous about it of like, yeah, I'm gonna cash in, like make you forget about it a little bit. But I don't think there's gonna be a threat. I definitely don't think there's gonna be a cash in. If they go with this idea of Theory cashes in and Drew pins Theory, Triple H has already lost it. He's already lost it a month ago. This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. This is how you're going to get the titles off of Roman. This is so stupid.
It's genius.
I told y'all. Vince really has the pen. He Triple H was like, I did it for a month. I got everybody to start watching again. I got the ticket sales high for the TV shows, for this event, for Survivor Series in Boston, and now I'm gonna hand the pen back to good old Pops, good old Daddy Vinnie Mac, and Daddy Vinnie Mac is gonna be like, you know what? Throw my boy Austin Theory in there, have him cash in, and have Drew hit the Claymore. 1, 2, 3. We protect Roman, and we put the titles on Drew in UK.
I'll call your bet, and I'll raise you, and I'll have Sami Zayn mess up on the outside too. On top of all that, mess up Roman again.
Why not? Why not? We got a super chat donation here from Kid Get Money. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. Last call here for super chat donations as well. Thank you, Kid Get Money, who says power ranking of those who should dethrone Roman. Number 3, Cody. Number 2, Jey Uso. Number 1, Sami Zayn. I can see a situation where Jey Uso kind of snaps out of the control of Roman Reigns after they lose all the gold, they lose all their power. But I think there's no chance in hell. Another Vince McMahon coin. No chance in hell Jey Uso even comes close to dethroning Roman Reigns.
Should. Jey Uso's been great during this whole. Sami Zayn has been great too. That segment last night, that was great A stuff. Kevin Owens should also tell a good story with that. Yeah, Kevin Owens, he's boosted himself back up with somebody who can dethrone him, but they've actually got some options here where it didn't feel like they had options just a couple months ago. It won't be Jey Uso. It probably won't be Sami Zayn. I still think it's Cody. I still think Cody's the correct call, and that's the way you go. That's who you should go with.
And I don't want to hear about The Rock at WrestleMania, so it's not going to be Cody. I don't want to hear about that. First of all, is that even guaranteed? The Rock at WrestleMania?
Nobody is.
Right?
They're playing that very close to the chest, if anything, right now.
So in my eyes, you still plan like you're going to have Cody. That's your guarantee right there. He's going to be back. You plan that plan A. And if you so happen to get The Rock, well, then you know what, Roman? You're working 2 nights, Roman. How about that? You're working night 1, you're working night 2.
I said this months ago. That is Roman versus Cody on night 1, and then night 2, Roman versus Rock. And
then The Rock can lay the smackdown on Roman for him losing the title, and The Rock not being able to become champion.
No, they do this the Cena Rock booking of having Rock cost Roman the title because they got to protect Roman. They got to protect Roman
every single time. No, not against Cody. Not against Cody. That is the one where you give it up
every single time.
You want to hear these poll results?
Well, first, let's get Chase Oliver with a super chat donation here. Thank you, Chase, who says, do you think they tried to separate the belts here through Money in the Bank? No, because I think they would have established this before that Theory is only cashing in on one title. They have kind of gone out their way to kind of get it in our head. This is the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. The only way I can see them separating it is if Drew beats Roman clean and then Paul Heyman comes back and says, oh, I put it in the contract that only the WWE title was on the line at Clash at the Castle. So he has to give back the Universal Championship
lame. LAME capital letters. That's lame. These poll results 50-50.
Oh. And people record, man. They've done a good job with Drew. They've done a good job with Drew. You got to give them credit for the way they've built up Drew.
And thank you, Kid Get Money. Yes, I called Roman working double duty at WrestleMania since Cody's promo. Since Cody's promo after WrestleMania 38, I've been saying this, and I do agree with Nick Jackson. It doesn't need the titles Roman versus Rock at all. And Triple H loves non-title main events. You've seen it on Takeover New Orleans with Ciampa and Gargano, Takeover Stand and Deliver last year with Cole and O'Reilly. He loves those non-title feuds in the main event. So you could see Roman and Rock still main eventing even without the titles.
Correct.
Yeah,
fine by me.
Yes, but that brings us to a close for our WWE Clash at the Castle preview. Thank you so much to Jeremy Lambert. Always a great time. Me and Jeremy, we spend almost every week with each other on FMC, but we rarely talk about wrestling. If you ever watch FMC, so it's always nice to talk a little bit about wrestling with Jeremy. Jeremy, please let the people know where they can find you, good sir.
You can follow me on Twitter if you would like, at Jeremy Lambert 88. Go to FightfulOverbook.com. We do a bunch of stuff over there, including, as SP3 just mentioned, FMC every Monday morning, Tuesday morning, this one, or this upcoming week. But we had a show yesterday, one of our best shows ever, as I ranted about Taylor Swift, and SP3 tried to talk himself into the Patrick Beverley trade with the Lakers, which awful trade, absolutely awful. A bunch of stuff on Fightful Overbooked. Go over there. Just go to Fightful.com. My name's somewhere on that website, so you can check out all my work over there.
Yes, go out of your way to watch it. Even you, Romeo, where Jeremy buried Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Lauryn Hill to say that Taylor Swift is the greatest singer-songwriter of all time. of all time.
No idea who
Difference
those
makers.
people are.
Chase gets it. Difference maker. Pat Bev, Mr. 94 feet. Patrick Elliott Beverly in here.
Did you talk about Bad Bunny being artist of the year? Did you talk about that? That should be the
I
headline.
like a little bit wrestling.
Yeah, that's too
A
close
little
to
bit wrestling.
Yeah, that's too close to wrestling. They talked about it on Raw. Y'all. So it's canon. Romeo, let the people know where they could follow you and when they'll see you next year.
True Heel Romeo, Twitter and Instagram. Join us tonight, NXT watch along. Tomorrow night, Dynamite watch along. Friday, depending what's on Rampage, if it's good, Rampage watch along. And of course, the weekend, all the watch alongs. Clash at the Castle, Worlds Collide, all out. Busy week ahead for your boy.
Absolutely, and I'll be back here with Romeo tomorrow as we preview NXT Worlds Collide. Hopefully, they got more than 2 matches that they currently have after tonight's NXT. So join Romeo.
I don't
for
know what you're
NXT.
previewing. It's gonna be a short preview.
And we're done.
We're gonna be like 10 minutes. We're gonna be like, let's do our both picks in one breath. But yes, we'll review that show tomorrow here on the YouTube channel. So hit the bell to stay notified. On Friday, we got our AEW All Out preview with another person from Fightful of the Grab City podcast. Righteous Reg is gonna be joining myself and Romeo for that one. Saturday, True Hill Heat 191 with special guest, another from Fightful. This is like the Fightful week, Jeremy. We got Kate Elizabeth, a member of the Blue Barracudas, the number 1 draft pick of the Blue Barracudas, is gonna be joining us.
Squad.
All of you guys are gonna backstab each other. That's awful. Yes, CM. Yes, Taylor Swift better than Michael Jackson. I still don't know which Prince. You got Prince Harry, Prince George, Prince Leon. I don't know which Prince, and I don't know who Lauryn Hill is.
All right, before Jeremy buries more of the culture, this has been our WWE Clash at the Castle preview for Romeo, for Jeremy. It is me, the True Hill Phenom SP3. We are signing off until next time.